What if there's a library that contains everything? Every thought you've ever had, every life you've ever lived, every choice you'll ever make. Not a metaphor, not a symbol. An actual field of information woven into the fabric of reality itself, accessible to those who know how to look. Mystics have described it for thousands of years. Edgar Cayce gave 14,000 readings from it. Rudolf Steiner wrote entire books from what he saw there. Modern physicists are beginning to suspect something like it might actually exist. They call it the Akashic Records. And today, we're going to explore what they are, where the concept comes from, and whether there's any chance they're real. The concept begins in ancient India. Akasha, the fifth element. Not earth, water, fire, or air, but the subtle medium that contains them all. In Hindu and Buddhist cosmology, Akasha is space itself, but not empty space. It's the womb of creation, the field from which all manifestation arises and to which it returns. It pervades everything, connects everything, remembers everything. The Vedas describe it as the primary substance underlying reality, the element from which sound first emerges, the book in which karma is written. Western esotericism picked up this thread through theosophy. Rudolf Steiner claimed not to believe in the Akashic Records. He claimed to read them directly. His book, Cosmic Memory, describes the evolution of Earth and humanity in staggering detail. Atlantis, Lemuria, the separation of the sexes, the descent of spirit into matter, all reportedly perceived through clairvoyant access to the records. For Steiner, the records weren't mystical fantasy. They were as real as a library book, just requiring different organs of perception to read. He developed practices to cultivate this perception: meditation, concentration exercises, moral development. The records, he said, open to those who prepare themselves properly. Cayce section. Edgar Cayce took a different approach. He didn't train himself to see, he fell asleep. Twice a day for over 40 years, Cayce would lie down, enter a self-induced trance, and give readings on whatever was asked. Medical conditions, past lives, future events, spiritual guidance. He called his source the Book of Life, what he was shown during readings. He'd wake with no memory of what he'd said, but stenographers recorded everything. 14,000 readings. Many medical diagnoses later verified. Past life information that revealed patterns across incarnations. Cayce believed everyone's soul had a record, and that record influenced their present life, health, relationships, purpose. Reading the records meant understanding why. So what's actually in this cosmic library? According to those who claim to access it, every soul's journey, not just this life, but every incarnation. The choices made, lessons learned, karma accumulated and resolved. The why behind events, not just what happened, but the spiritual purpose. Why that illness, that relationship, that seeming tragedy? The records reveal meaning, probable futures, not fixed destiny, but branching possibilities based on current trajectories. The future as forest of paths, some more likely than others. Collective records, not just individual souls, but groups, nations, humanity itself. The Akashic memory of civilizations. The thoughts themselves. Some describe accessing not just events, but the inner experience of beings throughout time. What it felt like to be Cleopatra. What Einstein was thinking when the insight struck. Sounds impossible. Sounds like fantasy. But let's consider what modern science might say. The Akashic records sound mystical, but certain scientific theories point towards something surprisingly similar. The holographic principle. Physicists like David Bohm proposed that reality might be holographic, every part containing information about the whole. In such a universe, information is never lost, just enfolded into the deeper structure. The zero-point field. Quantum physics reveals that empty space isn't empty. The quantum vacuum seethes with energy and, potentially, information. Ervin Laszlo argues this field could be the physical basis of the Akashic Records, a cosmic information field underlying space-time. Morphic resonance. Biologist Rupert Sheldrake proposes that nature has memory. Patterns once established become easier to repeat. Information transfers across time and space through morphic fields. Sounds a lot like records with a biological focus. Quantum entanglement. Particles once connected remain connected regardless of distance. Information correlates instantaneously. What else might be entangled across the fabric of existence? None of this proves the Akashic Records exist, but it suggests the universe might be far more interconnected, far more memory-rich than materialist science assumed. If the records are real, can anyone access them? Every tradition says yes, with preparation. The first requirement is stillness. The records exist at a frequency far subtler than ordinary thought. Mental chatter drowns them out. You must learn to quiet the mind. The second requirement is intention. Why do you want access? Curiosity isn't enough. Those who approach the records seeking power, advantage, or trivial information find the doors closed. The intention must be aligned: service, healing, understanding. The third requirement is receptivity. You don't force open the records. You make yourself available. You ask, then listen. The information comes not as ordinary thought, but as sudden knowing, imagery, or feeling. Practical approaches: deep meditation with specific inquiry. The pathway prayer process used by modern Akashic readers, hypnotic regression with a trained guide, dream incubation, asking before sleep, journaling in altered states. Some people experience vivid visions, libraries, books, guides. Others simply know things they didn't know before with no visual component. The records, it seems, meet each consciousness where it is. Whether or not the Akashic Records literally exist as a cosmic library, the concept points to something profound. The universe might remember, not as passive data storage, but as living memory. Not separate from you, but including you, your deepest self already connected to the whole. In Neoplatonism, Nous contains all forms eternally. In the Akashic model, the Akasha contains all events eternally. The same intuition expressed differently. Nothing is ever lost. If the records are real, then every moment matters. Every thought, every choice, every act of kindness or cruelty, inscribed forever in the fabric of existence. And if they're not literally real, the concept still invites a way of living, as if everything counts, as if memory pervades being, as if meaning is woven into the structure of reality itself. The mystics who explored this territory weren't naive. They were cartographers of consciousness, mapping territories most never visit. Maybe they found something. Maybe they imagined something. Or maybe, just maybe, they remembered something we've all forgotten how to see. Next, we'll explore another figure who claimed to read the records directly, Rudolf Steiner and his anthroposophy, a complete spiritual science built on clairvoyant perception. Subscribe to Consciousness Cartography if you want to go deeper. We're mapping the invisible landscape, one tradition at a time. I'll see you in the next video.